Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this February the 23rd, 2023, a Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. What I consider to be, first let's take a look at what Elon Musk is saying here. You know, Elon Musk is always a little bit ahead of the curve on a lot of these other people out there. And, he's innovative. Simple as that. So he's made his millions. And he's telling you, invest in physical things. He's talking about assets that perform well during high inflation. So he's one of the early ones that's thinking this way. You know, they know dollar's trash. As Ray Dalio says, the dollar is trash. Well, they've been creating an artificial liquidity shortage in the system. And part of the reason why is to the Fed's doing all this is they need to absorb the dollars that are being dumped overseas by Russia and China, especially China. Japan's dumping them too, treasuries. But not like China. China's dumping. And so you need to get on board too, because this liquidity shortage, this artificial liquidity shortage, is not going to last forever. They're going to have to go back to mad printing again. And not that far away either. Just as soon as the markets roll over. This is the thing. They don't have to go back to mad printing anymore. As long as the markets stay relatively solvent, stay relatively good, they don't fall out of bed. But as soon as they fall out of bed, they're going to have to go back to it again. And what's it going to mean? It's going to mean an awful lot of other people are going to start chasing these goods and services, these physical assets. Elon Musk is one of the early ones to get on board, but they're all going to get on board, and that's big money. Big money chasing limited amounts of goods and real things. And eventually what it's going to lead to is these physical things. Well, what they're mentioning here is real estate, fine art, and wine. What about gold and silver? Okay. Anyway, guys, taking a look now at the next thing here. The next big thing. What's the next big shoe to drop? Here it is. They're saying, don't send weapons to Russia for Ukraine. The United States warns China. But I see this. Now, this is just my personal opinion. This is the next shoe to drop. That's why the warning. If it wasn't imminent, why would the warning is coming? Because they see it as the next shoe to drop. And so they're warning. It doesn't mean it's going to happen 100% sure, but it's what I see personally as the next shoe to drop. And the arms that China could give Russia could be probably equivalent of what the United States has been giving Ukraine. And here's another thing, guys. I heard that Ukraine is chewing through the ammo so fast that our weapons factories and stuff can't keep up. It's just, we're producing it on one end, and it's bang, 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 bang on the other end. And it's just all going, disappearing faster than we can keep up. Now, Russia is obviously going to have similar problems. If we're using a lot of ammo, they're going to be using a lot of ammo. But now suddenly they could get a big inflow of ammo from China. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just seeing it in my mind as the next shoe to drop. So what would be the ramifications of all of this? That's what we got to think about. Well, it's described as nothing less than catastrophic for United States-China relations. Catastrophic is the word that's used. Catastrophic for United States-China relations. Well, what does that mean? Well, we got to start thinking about the ramifications. What about companies like Amazon An awful lot of the products they ship around comes from China. What about when you go to the dollar store? Almost everything in there is from China. What about all of the stuff, Amazon, eBay, comes from China, most of it. But probably, I don't know what the percentage is. I'm thinking maybe 70% of the stuff they sell on Amazon is Chinese. And suddenly, this would be catastrophic U.S.-China relations. Do you really think all of those ships are going to be coming over still packed with Chinese goods? I think that if relations get that bad, if the world gets at war, they cut off trade. I mean, that's just one of the side effects of war. And think of the ramifications of that, of China cutting off trade. I was just mentioning the other day about just auto parts alone. And, a lot of people say, well, we make parts here in America too. And this is true. We make auto parts here in America too. But what you're looking at is of the supply chain, you're looking at a significant part of parts for trucks and cars that have been made in China being all of a sudden cut off. Well, the factories that do produce those parts here will have a backlog or back order. And what you're looking at is maybe long waits to get parts to repair anything until America can gear back up again. I had a viewer respond on my channel, and he was saying, Glenn, why don't you say the good things about America? Well, I'm going to tell you something. We're coming down to a world war, was where we're headed. I don't know if it'll happen or not. But they don't want to get in a fight with America as far as really a fight on with America's military. I'm going to tell you, by far, America's military is the most powerful military on earth. But they're not looking for a direct confrontation, I don't think. I think what they're trying to do is destroy us from within, rather than come on with a direct military confrontation, because they know Russia and China combined, I think, what do they got? 2 or 3 aircraft carriers or so, and America's got like dozens. I mean, it's just overwhelmingly, America's got military bases everywhere on Earth. What an empire of military power and technology beyond bizarre. They're into Space Force and everything else. But here's the thing. If the enemy can somehow infiltrate us like a Trojan horse and tear us down from within, we won't even be able to bring our soldiers home if they can cause enough disruption. So I think that's the avenue they're trying to attack from. Meanwhile, they're waging these territorial wars over in Ukraine. They're trying to take, and soon the Chinese got their eye on Taiwan. It's a bad situation in world history right now. It's a bad time in world history right now, but catastrophic U.S.-China relations if the Chinese start to supply Russia with weaponry. It says tensions between Washington and Beijing have been heightened in recent weeks after the United States shot down what it says is a Chinese spy balloon. So tensions are heightened right now, but the shipment of all of these goods from China to America are still continuing. That could all get shut off awful fast. If China does that, starts helping Russia with the war effort, dare I say sanctions, and stuff like that will happen. And then relations will cool even further. I don't like to see these situations happening, but I mean, I'm going to be right on this channel and confront it head on with you guys. I'm not going to say, hey, this ain't happening, and talk about other topics. This is big, and it could have a profound effect upon every person in my audience. Let's take a look now at the silver price today, which is going down. 21.30 is down 19 cents. I've been saying it for a long time. In the initial stages of the crash that's going to make them pivot, or they'll probably call it a correction in the markets that makes them pivot, makes the Fed pivot. And the initial phases of this, I've been saying you could see a cooling of gold and silver, but it's only going to be a very temporary thing, But anyway, here we go. Silver's down today. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is down $6.20 at $18.19. Taking a look at cryptocurrency today, we're seeing Bitcoin price is 23,916 and Ethereum is 1,652. Taking a look at the Dow today, started positive earlier, but now it went negative. 32,959. It's down 85 points on the day so far. And taking a look at the S&P 500, we're 3986. We're down 4.76 points today so far. Taking a look at oil. Oil is 75.64, and oil is up $1.69, or 2.29% today. Moving on to bonds. We're looking at falling yields again. 10 years fell 2.3 basis points and stands at 3.9. And the U.S. 30-year is 3.89, and it fell 3.4 basis points. So even the 10-year is higher than the 30-year now at this point. The 20 years higher. Everything's higher than the 30-year. That's funny. Such a large inversion in the markets. I mean, we're going over 5% here on the U.S. 6-month and U.S. 1 year, and look at the 30 years, 3.8. That's a very large inversion, which is always a signal of a significant recession oncoming. The U.S. dollar index 104.65, and it's going up today. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode, and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.